everyone wrote this Arsenal team off. Every single person out there, every rival fan, including myself, thought deep down that Real Madrid would go through. But that is the best performance I have seen from Arsenal under Mikel Arteta. That's the best performance I've seen of Arsenal in the Champions League ever. You're up against 15 times Champions League winner. Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Rudiger, Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, Valverde. Arsenal just bodied them. Absolutely bodied them. The physicality, the energy levels. Miles Lewis Skelly at 18 years of age, taking Rodrigo out of the game. And Declan Rice. Listen, where has that been your entire career? Because if England ever get a free kick now, put this guy on it. That was an unbelievable performance from Arsenal. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. We are closing in on 50. I was about to say 500. We are 500 subs away from 50,000. So if you haven't already, please go down and I don't know why I always do it on this side. Butcher that subscribe button. 90% of you who watch the content every month are not subscribed. And we're 460 away from the big 50K. Honestly, as a performance, that was absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. More shots on target, more possession. Camavinga sent off, not that it really mattered because of the yellow card. I don't think you guys understand. I've seen Tottenham beat Real Madrid 3-1 in the Champions League at Wembley. But that performance, without Gabriel, without Kai Havertz, without Gabriel Jesus, with no Ben White in the 11, everyone was writing off because Kivior started. That is a ridiculous performance. Ridiculous. David Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Miles Lewis Skelly at 18 years of age. What you're witnessing from an 18-year-old, it's absolutely insanity what you're witnessing. Like, it's stupidly good at 18 years of age. Probably, other than Declan Rice, for me, he was the best player on the pitch, other than Declan Rice. Well, you can't not say Declan Rice was the man of the match after those free kicks. But Arsenal came out the traps early. And when I saw the Madrid lineup, I'm not a fan of this 4-4-2. I think Vinny Jr. is best in a 4-3-3. I think Kylian Mbappe is best down the middle in a 4-3-3, as well as Rodrigo. They don't have the width they do like they did last season with Joselu up front. Jude Bellingham isn't the best out on the left-hand side. He is a central midfielder. We've seen some of Camavinga's best performances at wing-back. Alaba's predominantly a centre-back now playing left-back. Valverde, like, I'm not making excuses. I don't get what Carlo Ancelotti was trying to do. I'm not making excuses for this Real Madrid team because Arsenal 100% deserved it. You know, and for the first half, it was a very, very cagey game. Carlo Ancelotti would be going into halftime and probably the happiest of the two managers. He's probably sitting there thinking, you know what? You know, 0-0. We'll get back to the Bernabeu. But that was absolutely, like, genuinely, that was absolutely ridiculous. A ridiculous performance in that second half. The first half, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was a game of chess. Two teams trying to cancel each other out, etc. You know, and really see what was what. The second half, however, Mikel Arteta deserves huge praise. Huge praise for playing Kivior. I thought he did really, really well tonight. You know, the halftime whistle went around the Emirates. It was a fast-paced opening 45 minutes. The XG for Arsenal was a lot higher. You know, something like 0.89 compared to 0.37. You get into the second half, Bellingham has a chance, side netting early on. And I thought, they look like they're up for this, Real Madrid. And then Arsenal flipped a switch. It was like something in the Arsenal players' brains went, we're winning this game. You know, Declan Rice's free kick, an absolute rocket. Saka's fouled about 30 yards out. And the only really place he could put it, I didn't fancy him putting it to Courtois' right, top left. But he bends it around the wall. With the technique on the strike is some of the best you will see. It's absolutely fucking insane, that technique. He bends it around the wall. Courtois' near side, and it's in the back of the net. Declan Rice runs over to the crowd. They go 1-0 up. A superb effort past Courtois, who I don't think had a bad game, by the way. Real Madrid are lucky to lose that game 3-0. Real Madrid have it cleared off the line a couple of times. Camavinga, silly yellow card from him. Silly yellow card off the line again. I think it was Bellingham at one point. The second free kick is one of the best free kicks in the Champions League I have ever seen. David Beckham-esque. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't think you guys understand. The Champions League quarterfinals up against 15 times Champions League winners Real Madrid, and you step up against Courtois. We've seen some of the performances he's had in the Champions League against Salah, against Liverpool, something like 8 or 9 saves in the game, and then he steps up with that. It's like, this is what galvanizes the team. This is what makes players big game players. Declan Rice. I don't think Odegaard was at his best tonight. I don't think Saka was at his best. But those two are looking around going, like, lads, we're in the Champions League here. And Declan Rice just goes, do you know what, Jude? You can sit there with your shitty celebration. And what he does, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really fucking pissed off. Because if Arsenal win this Champions League, I'm never, ever going to hear the end of that. If Arsenal win this Champions League, it will be like that. I don't even want to think about it. Rice's effort is even better than the first. It is stupidly good. Top corner. You couldn't put it more in the top corner. Side netting. Absolutely stupidly good free kick. 2-0. And then I'm thinking, right, 2-0 back at the Bernabeu. I think Madrid will still do it. And then Arteta brings on Trossard for Saka, and then Lewis Skelly at 18 years of age. Odegaard's trying to do flicks and tricks, and he's saying, hey, none of that. None of that. That's an 18-year-old kid telling your captain. The balls on this guy. Like, I can't even explain to you the levels. The levels. Like yeah. I look at it right now and just think the levels of Lewis Skelly in a Madrid game against Rodrigo and all these players. And then Lewis Skelly lays it into Marino. The ball's coming in. He's away from it, bends it. It's a ridiculous finish. Courtois got no chance. And I'm thinking, right, 3-0. That might be all she wrote for the second leg. Now, what I will say is, to caveat all of this, if there is one team that can come back from a 3-goal deficit in their own ground, it is Real Madrid. However, this season, Real Madrid don't look like Real Madrid. Camavinga gets himself sent off at the end, right? Stupid. I don't know what he's on. I don't know what he's smoking. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know what he's trying to achieve. That was absolutely pathetic from him. And then, you know, full-time whistle goes and you think, right, Arsenal play Brentford on Saturday. If I was Mikel Arteta, I would play the weakest 11. I'm talking a back four of Zinchenko, Kieran Tierney, Jorginho and Sterling. That game does not matter now. Getting past Real Madrid does matter. Wednesday, the 16th of April, Real Madrid versus Arsenal second leg. I'm going to say this right now. Arsenal may go there and get a 0-0 draw. Real Madrid are out for me as far as, like, if there is one team that can do it, yeah, I hear it. It's Real Madrid. Los Blancos, the Galacticos, the best there is, the best there was, Bret the Hitman Hart and all that sort of stuff about Real Madrid. But this season, not firing in the league, 4 points behind Barca, scraping past Real Sociedad in the Copa del Rey semis. Yeah, for me, yeah. Yeah. I look at it right now and just think Arsenal have just put in their performance of a lifetime and Real Madrid had no answer. You know, the subs from Carlo Ancelotti, starting Luka Modric. I know he's been one of the best midfielders of all time, but he hasn't been on it this season. He hasn't. And Real Madrid have conceded 9 goals in their last 4 games, which is stupid. 11 in their last 4. Like that is not a good record if you're a Real Madrid fan. And tonight, I imagine they are absolutely pulling their hair out. But you know what? Do you know what? Fair play. Fair play to Arsenal. Because that is one of the best performances you will ever see. And look, that's why you move to the Emirates, to see those sort of performances. I can't actually, like, that was absolutely fucking insanity. Insanity, what we just see right there. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button. We are, like I said, 460 subs off of 50K. I'm out.